Hello, I'm Dr. Jacqueline Bond. I'm an academic in the UQ School of Pharmacy. We put a lot of time and effort into the design of our summative assessments, but really the formative assessments is where it's at for me. So when I'm writing, say, a practice online exam, what I have in the back of my mind is that that activity is really a very powerful form of communicating with my students about what matters. They're going to look at that much like they use past exam papers or sample exams from the library as a little bit of a window into the secret teacher's business. Okay, they'll be using it to figure out what are the range of questions in terms of content, difficulty, are they knowledge questions, are they problem solving, are they application. And so when I'm thinking about where should I best expend my efforts in my course, designing pools with lots of questions for formative assessment is where I'm going to get the biggest bang for my buck. I want the students to go in and do practice exams over and over and over. I want them to get different questions each time. I want them to get things wrong. I want them to see the customized feedback on those questions. And so by the time that they arrive at the end of semester, they've really deeply engaged with the course content. They've taken responsibility for their learning, and they're incredibly well prepared for the final assessment, the summative assessment that we normally give all of our attention to. But the critical part is that in our Blackboard questions, there are fields called correct feedback and incorrect feedback. And it's really important to fill out those fields, particularly if when you're starting, maybe just focus on the incorrect feedback fields. And what that means is if the student gets the question wrong, they'll get to read this text. Now, one of the things that I found really interesting when I started was I wasn't quite sure what to put in those fields. So all I really did was I went in and I had a look at students' past exam papers, particularly short answer questions, and I tried to get a feel for what are the really common errors that they've made. To me, it feels a little bit almost like the old-fashioned apprenticeship model, where you have kind of somebody walking beside you, giving you the guidance at the time that you need it to sort of course correct. We often place kind of this pressure on students to be able to self-assess or peer assess, but particularly in the early courses, like really foundational courses, students often just don't have the level of expertise and insight to be able to do that. And so we really need to kind of give them that helping hand. We need to walk beside them, make sure that their foundations are solid. And I found this to be really quite an exceptional way to do it. I'm really into data and metrics. And so I often analyze my Blackboard quiz attempts, and I can actually go in and have a look at how many of my students have undertaken the practice online exam. And I can also have a look at how many attempts that they had. So for example, in my course in first semester, 99% of the cohort did the practice exam, and they were really obsessive about it. So it wasn't uncommon to see students do 10 or 12 attempts. Think about this as a long-term initiative. It's taken me years to build up really big pools. You just start wherever you are. You write as many questions as you can manage for that year. And as each new semester rolls on, you'll get more and more ideas for new questions to add. So the pools build over time.